Now, Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana says his fourth year in office has been full of surprises. He was speaking at Treasury's first ever public Macro-Fiscal Policy Workshop that is being held at the Budget Council in Pretoria. With 100 seats in the room, who showed up? Newzroom Afrika's Ndogozo Kumalo attended that event and joins us now live. Ndogozo, good afternoon to you. What was the objective of having this workshop held publicly?
Good afternoon, Katleho. Well, in the theme of, I suppose, the national dialogue, getting the public more involved in finding solutions to South Africa's challenges was the point of this, as well as the public to then put in their submissions of what they think should happen with the resources of the country when it comes to the budgets and how it should be allocated to really deal with issues of unemployment and poverty and ensure that services are delivered. So I don't know if you can see this little tag that I have has a little zebra on me, and that was supposed to be then the team that I am part of in terms of just crafting those ideas. And when you asked, it's that Budget Council holding about 100 people, Katleho, but in the room it was mostly the National Treasury staff that was in there, the various players in the budget office who were really sort of laying down the budgeting process. And we also did see economists that were there, such as Professor Yanni Rousseau, as well as Dr. Mark Buke with the DA, who is the DA finance spokesperson. And some of the issues that were raised, or the questions that were raised, are the questions that has been discussed for quite some time since that impasse in February when it comes to the budget, whether National Treasury is considering that Parliament is a lot bigger than it used to be, and that there are several stakeholders that need to be consulted when drafting a budget. Issues of how we're going to deal with the stagnating economic growth. What are the ideas there, especially when it comes to ensuring that we continue to see the delivery of services? So Minister Godongwana was meant to deliver his keynote at 9 a.m. but ended up delivering the keynote at 11 o'clock. And the invitation, Katleho, I don't know if it was me being in my own ideal world, but the invitation saying that the meeting would be at the square, and of course the National Treasury office being right opposite the square outside here. And we do have some people that are sitting outside the square, and I suppose one of the economists asking the question why the engagement wasn't with the public. If, you know, Minister set up the podium right by the door of the National Treasury office and actually then engage with the public that they are saying they were meant to be engaging with today. But there were civil society organizations such as Section 27 that were in the room and did point out some questions to the minister. So the formal events or the open sessions have now concluded, and those who did show up for the workshop are now going into their groups to discuss the several issues then when it comes to the budgeting process. The date of the 12th of November was thrown by Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana. We're not quite sure whether that is when the midterm budget policy statements will then take place. National Treasury, their media team, as I was talking to you now, Katleho, saying that they will be sending out statements in due course. So we're not quite sure whether that 12th November date is to deal with then the expenditure framework for the next 3 years, considering the pressure that the fiscal is under, or whether it is actually then the midterm budget policy statement that will be then put out in Cape Town. So we will get those details and hopefully get an answer on exactly what will be happening on the 12th of November. But for those South Africans who are hearing then about this workshop, workshop through us as the media, they will get the opportunity to make some submissions to the National Treasury that the Finance Minister will then comb through and put through as possible solutions on how South Africa going forward we can find that right balancing act when it comes to the revenue that is collected and how it is spent, Katleho. But on our end, I must say, we did not quite see that public participation in the room. It was largely the National Treasury staff, chief economists, as well as then civil society that were in the room, Katleho.